Question 1.4. Use your knowledge of structure and bonding to explain where it's possible to separate ethanal in this way. Well, remember you're separating ethanal from ethanol and ethanoic acid. Well, ethanol and ethanoic acid each have an O bonded to an H. If you have an O bonded to an H, or an F bonded to an H, or an N bonded to an H, then the difference in electronegativity between the O and the H is large, and therefore you get a large polar bond, a large delta plus and delta minus. And therefore in ethanol and ethanoic acid, the intermolecular hydrogen bonds that you get are going to mean that they have a larger boiling point than the ethanol. The ethanol doesn't have any oxygen bonded to an H. It has a carbon bonded to an H, so it has a polar carbon to oxygen bond and has dipole-dipole bonding, but it's less than the hydrogen bonding, the strong hydrogen bonding, intermolecular hydrogen bonding in ethanol and ethanoic acid. So the answer is that ethanol and ethanoic acid have hydrogen bonding, and that means that their boiling points are higher than the ethanol. They have higher boiling points than ethanol, it should say that. Okay, a student obtained a sample of liquid using the apparatus. Describe how the student could use chemical tests to confirm that the liquid contained ethanol and did not contain ethanoic acid. Lots of marks here for 5 marks for 2 chemical tests. So how do you test for ethanol to show that it contains ethanol? Well, you use warm Tollens reagent. So add Tollens reagent, make sure it's warm. You need the conditions warm at A2. So at A level, you need warm Tollens reagent, and a silver mirror is made. Alternatively, you could add Fehling solution and it would make a brick red precipitate, but this is the more sort of normal test, regular test. Add warm Tollens reagent, a silver mirror test, and then it says did not contain any ethanoic acid at all. You'd add sodium carbonate and you wouldn't get any bubbles. No bubbles or effervescence is observed. The word bubbles is fine. You can use the word effervescence if you want. It means the same thing.